Welcome to West Ham Updates TV with Addy, Gary, Micky, me, Sam. Mr. Moon has emptied the building. I think it's going to be a very, very, very good show today. A bit explosive, I feel. I've calmed down a little bit before, and I want to just say something to the fan base before we go on, because I've obviously put out a couple of big videos this weekend, scathing videos of the team, of everything. And it was picked up today by Ray Winston, obviously, having a pop back, but not a pop, his views, to be fair, about some of the language I use. And I just want to say, this channel is out there for everybody, whether you agree with our opinions or not. And we've probably got to this point a little bit, probably because we're hurt and lashing out at where our club is, that if you don't agree with us, you're wrong. And that isn't true. Everyone loves West Ham. All the West Ham supporters love West Ham for different reasons. And I think we have to bear that in mind a little bit. And I think I, for one, definitely have got lost in, I'm so upset at where our club is, like I'm sure every other West Ham fan is as well. I've probably made the manager a bit of a scapegoat for it, as Micky has, as Gary has, as Addy has in time. Addy's probably a bit more reasonable than us three. I don't think we're all right. And I do agree with some West Ham fans' opinions of the manager as well. And I want to get into that today. We're going to go through Brentford. We're going to start with Brentford. But I want to just say, if you don't agree with us, that's okay. This still is a channel for you, and hopefully you get something from it as well. But we will take it on board. So Ray Winston's words have settled me down a little bit.
I bet they have.
Yeah. No, do you know what? I get it. Other people have different opinions. I get it. Yeah. It doesn't mean we're right. And I do get that some people are hopeful that we still are going to get out of this mess that we're in. But it is a collective, and we were going to do a big show on where it all went wrong, but Addy rightly said today, as the voice of reason, let's maybe save that for a bit later. We've still got 3 games to play. We're not relegated yet. That's what we have to remember. So we'll get into Brentford. Obviously, we all deemed it as a must-win, and I think I probably took it, in my head, was if West Ham lose, Forest and Spurs win, Leeds, etc., then we are done. It is over, and we have been relegated as of then. As it stands, we are not. But it was a big blow to us this weekend. Ad, we'll come to you first. You was at Brentford away. What did you make of it?
First off, it was all right. I thought
it was.
Yeah, no, I thought we was all right. I mean, defensively, we looked a little bit all over the place, to be honest. I think they had a chance within about a minute. And I was thinking, what's going on here? So we was a little bit all over the place. The shape just didn't seem right. But we had a go first half. And I don't think there's, you can have too much complaints about, the way we approached it. We had efforts on goal. Obviously, so unlucky to go in 1-0 behind at half time. It was a decent first half. No complaints at all. But I thought the second half was pretty pathetic all round, to be honest. For a team that we had to get something out of the game. We had to really win. A team that should be going for it, throwing hell with leather at it. We didn't hardly create anything, did we? Obviously, we had a bit of brilliance from Somerville. Obviously, hit the bar again, unlucky. It was the most stonewall penalty I think I've ever seen not given, which was unlucky again. But I don't think we created much other than that in the second half. And you're never going to win games if you give goals away like we did. Obviously, the second one was just, it was a silly. He's made a stupid decision to go to ground now. That gets him 2-0 up and fighting a losing battle from there. And then the third goal was just pathetic. All round, just pathetic. Manson again, not to dig him out. I'm not having him at all, by the way. I'm not having him as a keeper. And I do think he's got a problem diving to his left. I think that first game of the season against Sunderland, he's made that terrible mistake of a shot to his left. The goal against Villa, again, diving to his left, he should do better. He just pushes it out straight to the forward. And then that one on Saturday, he's not to blame, but I do think a decent keeper's getting a hand to that. You're never going to win games if you're going to give away goals like we did. And it was just, second half was so disappointing. And after the game, I hadn't felt that bad about West Ham losing in a long, long time. And I think it's just I felt that was our big chance. That was really our big chance to get out of it. And we've blown it, basically. So yeah, not good substitutions. Well, I mean, we go on to talk about those. I'm sure we will, but yeah, substitutions didn't help at all either, did they?
No. Gal, what was your main takeaways?
I think you're spot on in terms of the first half. We weren't too bad. We were still in it. Second half, we just completely capitulated and fell apart. I remember messaging Micky and say, actually 3-0 might be a little bit misleading if you hadn't watched it. However, for me, it's like if we'd gone there and lost 1-0, all right, we still wouldn't have got any points, but I would have felt better going into these next 3 games. But I just think the fact that it's 3-0, we can't afford to have results like that at this stage of the season. And I actually think they were there to be got at. Yes, they're a good team. We've got to remember that. But at the same time, we'd really pushed. I think we could have got a draw out of that, but we didn't go for it. And it was almost like, I don't know, I've been through the 4 stages of grief this weekend. You know what I mean?
Yeah, me too.
Angry, and I actually looked it up at the stages of grief, and I'm just like, I'm in a fucking foul mood today. Especially this evening, I am and because my microphone won't work as well, I've got the right time. So.
Mick?
Yeah, well, as you know, I actually didn't see the game on Saturday. I was playing myself, first time in a long time. But going by what, not just you, what a few people have said to me that have seen the game, that the first half, we was decent. But it's, for me...
Arguably, just to quickly, the best we've played. And that's where I think people can't understand my comments about it. It was arguably the best, and it was the finest of margins.
Yeah.
That we didn't win that first half. I was watching it with my brother-in-law, and he went, "This is one of the best games I've ever watched." And he said, it could be 3-3 this first half. And it could have been. So it was very unlucky. So sorry, Mick, to cut you off.
That's fine. That's all right, mate. But for me, it just comes back to the same old, same old. You're not getting a performance for 90 minutes. It's patches in games. And as you just said there, it could have been 3-3. Well, that tells me again that the strikers are not doing the job that they're put in to do, which is score goals. And that's as much as I love the work rate of the pair of them, they've been bought in for 50 million. It's not cheap. And we needed strikers to come in and score goals. Yes, granted, like you said earlier on, Sam, Tatty has scored a few goals. You're not getting nothing from Pablo. Nothing. He again, work rate, fantastic. But we need goals. We need wins. 3-0, for me, it's damaging. I said it's when I was sitting in the changing room when I was playing at the end of the bad game and I heard it 3-0. I said to one of our pals over there, Sharky, I said, that's us done. I said, you'll go up to Villa and you'll beat them. I said, that's us done. That has massively done us in that 3-0. Again, like what Gary was saying about earlier on, maybe a 1-0 or 1-1, I probably would have been like, yeah, all right, fair enough, we can take that, whatever. But 3-0, by the sounds of it, such a really poor second half performance without going for it again with the manager. Just never goes for games. Never, ever goes for them. That's what annoys me with him. And I know I'm scathing of him. I really want him to do well because I don't want West Ham to foul. So I don't want him to foul. But he's making it so hard to actually like him and get behind him. Because it's the same old interviews after the games. You never get what has really happened in games. He seems happy that we've lost the game. He's always smiling. I just think, just show the real emotion, Peter, because I was absolutely fuming. Losing that 3-0, absolutely fuming. And he just comes out.
Funny enough, Nick.
Go on, mate.
Funny enough, I sent someone into the group chat before about Nuno saying he's unfazed if we go down.
Yeah.
Fucking brilliant.
Yeah,
I'm glad he is because I fucking ain't.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just.
But just quickly, that he may not have said that. There may be I just want to put it out there. Maybe that's the wording of the article to rile us up. That may be. So I'll give him his benefit. I think for me, it was the Brentford result, and like other West Ham fans who go, look, well, we were unlucky there, and we were. I'll give us that, right? We were unlucky in parts of that game, and there was a bad refereeing decision and all this that went on. But it came back to the Palace game to me. It came back to the Wolves. It came back to Fulham. It came back to Leeds, Brentford, Forest. And it was all them. Brighton, Chelsea, 2-0 up. Manchester United, where we drew. And you look and you just go, I can go, okay, the odd game. But there's a body of work for months.
Happens.
where it's happened again. Now, I do agree, like other people say, well, it's not all the manager's fault, that he was left a complete shit show by Potter, Lopetegui and Potter of what was going on. And he picked the pieces up and he has changed things around. Now, like to my own point, I'll say, well, we're one place above where we were when Potter, or the same when Potter left. I think one place above. People say, well, we were done and dusted in Christmas. Done and dusted. We were out of it and all this. We weren't that far out of it compared to Forest and things like that. Like we weren't like 15 points off or anything like that at any point. So I just think, I look at Forest, they rolled the dice on Daesh, who was doing basically what Nuno was doing now.
Yeah.
A bit, not getting beat in 6, right? But there were draws. And Marinakis said, this ain't good enough for me. I don't like this. I'm going to go again, right? And then Spurs, Tudor wasn't getting a tune. They went again and got De Zerbi. Now, we were in that desperate time. We've been in it, but we've stuck with our man. We didn't roll the dice in January. In actual fact, we had a profit, as Mick put out. We let go our best playmaker in Paqueta, not replaced him. And so it's not all the manager's fault. And you also you don't know if the players bought in, actually the manager even wanted or not. We're led to believe he did. So then you've got to say, well, okay, you've got to blame someone here. And because I look at Leicester and I honestly think that could be us next year.
Yeah, I do.
I really do. And I know a lot of West Ham fans won't agree with that, but a lot of Leicester fans would have been in the same boat last year going, it's going to be in actual fact, I remember Gary Lineker saying it on the rest of his football the year before, saying, well, you know what? Actually, in the Championship, it was all right. We won a league. We come back up. Now, I don't know if Gary Lineker will be saying the same again today because he's going to be watching League One football next year. That's the worry. Genuinely worried about a club because ultimately, these players, these managers, they'll all go. They'll come and go, but we're here forever.
Yep.
And like other West Ham fans who like the manager, don't like the manager, etc., like the owners, like the ground, like this, or maybe don't, we're all going to be here. And that's the bit. We're the ones who are always the laughing stock. Oh, West Ham, they messed it up again. We're a meme, aren't we? And that's the disappointing bit for me. Also, on the manager's appointment, we brought in a manager, obviously, we've said this many times, without a backroom staff, right?
Yeah.
Now, if the manager, and I'll put this on the club, right? If the manager didn't have a backroom staff coming in, and they knew they couldn't get the backroom staff from Forest, surely the club goes, oh, bringing in a manager without his backroom staff, that's probably a bit risky, yeah? But we didn't. We still brought him in. And that's where you've got to go, like, was that another wise decision? Because do I think if Nuno come in after David Moyes, it would have been an okay appointment? Yes, I do. But with everything else, that's the problem. What do you think, Ad?
Oh, I don't know where to start, though, to be honest with you. He's definitely turned things around to where we were in Jan. Obviously, he took a long time to get there, and he made a lot of catastrophic errors before that. So, like you said, he's lucky to have kept his job to be able to turn it around. And, you know, I think the signings helped in the way that we played. And, yeah, we started to turn things around. But like you said, he does seem like he's very much like a one-trick pony. He has tightened up the defence. He has done that. But he does seem like a one-trick pony. He puts out a team. There's no real style of player, I wouldn't say. He very much relies on, you know, our best players as individual brilliance to win us games. And then tactically, the in-game management has been as poor as any manager we've probably had, to be honest with you, with his substitutions and stuff. I don't know. I feel weird about Nuno. I feel like I like him, but I do that where he, sits back when we go a goal up, and he keeps doing that, and he must have done that at least 10 times in game. I can't understand why he still thinks that's going to work, and it's things like that. You just think, it's just, what are you doing? And yeah, when he doesn't go for game like that. Brentford second half, we just had to throw the kitchen sink at it. We had to just go for it. It didn't matter how much we lost by. We had to go for it. And he's just so stubborn. He's such a submissive manager. He's never going to go for games. And it's like, is that what we really want at West Ham? I think you mentioned it before, Sam. Like, the character of West Ham fans and how we are. We're passionate. We're a bit chaotic. you know, we want our team to be like that with fighters. You know, that's what we want our team to show. And yeah, his team's a bit bland, aren't
Do
they?
you feel it though, as I do in some ways, that our fan base, this isn't a dig at our fan base, I just want to put this out there. We've been through so much rubbish now, right, over the last, since Europe, right, since then, that we as a fan base are also just adapting that, oh, well, we did try attitude a little bit over, because I think there's half and half fan base at the minute are going, well, the manager's having he's tightened us up. We're not, because I've heard it a million times this week, we were losing games 5-0. Like, we're not doing that anymore. And like, it's like we're happy to lose 2-0 now, like as a West Ham fan base.
Yeah.
And do you guys feel that?
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. I think the standards. Sorry to hog it all, lads, but yeah, I think the standards slipped so low that, you know, any improvement on that, we're like, oh, this is good, when it really isn't. Really, I mean, Pablo's a perfect example. What striker do you sign who can't score a goal and doesn't ever look like scoring a goal? And then, you know, you say, oh no, but he does work hard. Like, he should be playing midfield if he's going to work hard and run around. Like, you know, but we're like, no, but he's all right. He gives his everything. But no, like, he's a striker. He has to score goals. But yeah, we're kind of accepting lower standards because it's been so poor.
And that's what worries me. Sorry, go on, Gal. Go on, mate.
Sorry, mate. I was just going to say, just having a look at the fixtures and the results. And Nuno came in, and it was only our 6th Premier League game. It was our 7th game of the season because we lost to Wolves, and it was our 6th Premier League game. Yeah. And then by the end of this, he would have had 32 games. He's had more than 3/4 of a season, right? He came in without his backroom staff, but he didn't have to accept the job. You know,
but in fairness to him, I can understand him doing it. It's a no lose for him. Like, he's not affiliated to West Ham, so I will give him that.
But I think, going back to what you were saying before, and I'll stick by it, I think he's lost us more points than we've won. But I think the most damaging thing at the moment, you've said it, Sam, and I've been arguing with a guy in America this evening, where everyone's got fixated, and West Ham fans are part of the problem, fixated with this imaginary league table that started on the 17th of January. And everyone's going, yeah, but we'd be 4th if the league started.
7th, yeah.
Or 7th. And I'm like,
this now, but...
You're all mental. You're playing into the ball's hands here, because they're probably behind a lot of this spin, and everyone's giving the manager a bit more time. I don't care if we're letting in less goals now. At the end of the day, you either get 1, 0, or 3 points at the end of a game. That's the short and tall of it, right? The aim of the game is to get more goals than the other team. We ain't doing it. That's what it's all about. So yeah, I'm just really angry at the moment. I used to be the voice of reason on here.
It's sad though, isn't it? It's sad what we've become as a club. Like, it really, and it's a club that I don't identify with anymore. And that's the sad thing. I don't identify with a lot of the fan base, who are even my mates, because we're arguing in group chats about, and it's basically gone back to the old Moyes in, Moyes out, Somerset over here, Somerset over there, and that's where the club's been for so long, and it just, we've said it so long, it needs a reset. I accepted. Sunday morning, I was really angry, like seething angry when I woke up. Because to be honest with you, I went out, it was my birthday Saturday. And I went out that night for a lovely dinner in this place in, if anyone's watching in Ibiza, called La Scapola. It's in an old church. If anyone goes to Ibiza, go to this restaurant. It is, I reckon, the most beautiful setting of a restaurant I have ever been in. It's an old church, you sit inside it.
Didn't enjoy it.
I was sitting there. Mate, honestly, didn't enjoy it. Like, I watched the game with my brother-in-law, who's a Spurs fan, and I've got to say, was the most gracious person in the world, because I think he knew it was my birthday. I think he knew that I was probably going to jump in the ocean.
Implode.
And he was the most gracious Spurs fan in the world, much more than I would have been, that's for sure, right? I was sitting there, and I just couldn't enjoy the night. I didn't even want this. I wanted to go on. Come on, let's go home. And I was like, I said the next day, I said, you know what, it ruined my weekend, my great day. My wife had put his birthday on, my brother and sister-in-law had come over. and I didn't even want to speak to anyone. That is us. It does affect us, and I wish you could turn it off, but you can't. And then Monday I woke up with this realisation of, in my realisation of, we've gone down, accept it. And I kind of went, Millwall didn't come up. Southampton looking good in the playoffs. Maybe we'll get that Millwall game next year, you know, like looking forward. Maybe we'll have a clear out. Maybe we'll start again. It'd be quite good. Some of the fans who are not really fans
No
won't
VAR.
come anymore. No VAR, you said it. And I kind of thought, you know what? Let's focus on the positives. But is that a positive? West Ham United in a second tier of football for the third or fourth time in our lifetime, second time in this ownership's reign. And you just think, it's sad, isn't it? I love Premier League football. It's a big part of my life. But I probably won't be watching Premier League football that much next year because we won't, if we're not in it. Like,
exactly.
Championship. I don't really want to watch Championship football.
No, you're absolutely right. See, growing up, West Ham were always a yo-yo team, but we came up in 2012 and we've never been down. So we've had 14 years. So we sort of like shook that label of being a yo-yo team. And
We should never be classed as a yo-yo club anyway. You got
What's
to
that,
think
mate?
we should never be classed as a yo-yo club. I don't care what anyone says. Yes, we've been relegated. A yo-yo club is what West Brom do. Come up 1 year, go down. Come up again, go down. We've been relegated out of the Premiership for 4 years in 30 odd years. How is that a yo-yo club? It's nowhere near a yo-yo club. Do you know what I mean?
But it's always us. When for example, like the hangman always gets you in the end. I said it the other day, right? Everton, he never got them, did it? Because they went finally and found a solution with David Moyes, and now they're pushing for European football. Yesterday, they stopped City probably winning the title. And you look and think, God, Everton, that was us. It was us. That's what we should be now.
On a proper football ground.
And that's exactly the point. Is for Everton, everything changed when the ownership changed because it brought positivity back to the club. With new owners come in, new possibilities that was going to come in. They knew that not loads of money to spend, but they knew there was going to have a little bit of money. A new manager come in. Everything was brand new stadium, brand new owners, brand new manager. We're stuck with a manager that is exactly like the previous three managers that we all wanted gone in Nuno. We're stuck with an owner that we've not wanted. Well, I've not wanted there since the second season he bought the club. Do you know what I mean? We've gone to a stadium that no one really wanted to go to anyway. And that's what I'm saying. It's not so much on the manager. It's not so much on the team. For me, it will always boil down to the top of the club. That's what it will always boil down to for me.
I totally agree. Totally agree.
And it is a bit of everything. And it is just, it's funny, everything with West Ham over the last few years is bad news, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Shambles.
Even go back to Paqueta, betting scandal, when he goes off the boil, you know, like Declan Rice, we had a cut, we sell him. You know, like, it's all a downer, isn't it? Like, the manager gets Europe, but then can't get it going. Get rid of him. Get this out of work manager, Lopetegui. Shambles. Go and get another one.
Brady walks for reasons unknown. You know what I mean?
It's just all... And we're not just a laughing stock as an ownership, a fan base. It's the whole collective.
Yeah.
Is a shambles. As I say, the commercial and our kits that look terrible. Probably this year was our worst ever kit that we ever produced. And we said it at the beginning of the season.
Even down to us as a fan base. I think the whole thing, West Ham United, fan base, merchandise, absolutely everything is a complete and utter shambles.
It all needs resetting.
Yeah, it does. It needs a complete reset. And that's what worries me. And that's what I was going to say when Gary came in earlier. Even if we stay up, we will go down next year because there's nothing in the club. And I said it earlier on in the WhatsApp group when people were saying about, worried about if Bowen leaves or if some, they can all go. I'm literally at a point where I'm like, do you know what? Get shot at a lot of them. If they don't want to be at the club, get shot of them. I'm not interested in players that just want to turn up for a paycheck and play Premier League football. We're going to be in the Championship. That's my view. We are going to be in the Championship. And that's fine, not a problem. We'll go again. We've been in the Championship before. We'll probably be there again if we've got the same owners that we've got now again in the future. It is what it is. I'm just sick to death of keep turning around being like, I'm worried if that player leaves, worried if that player leaves or this player leaves. If they don't want to be there, just go. I'd rather us.
That's what it is as a
play.
West Ham fan, isn't it? It's just like sitting with worry on you at all time. Right, I'm going to flip it up a minute because we are not relegated, right? So this bit is for the fans who are hopeful, okay? It was our bit.
I'm going to flip now as well, yeah.
No, is that kick up the arse that we just had against Brentford? If we win against Arsenal, can we stay up?
Don't do it, Sam.
Can we?
Don't do it.
Can we?
No.
Can we?
If we beat
I was
Arsenal, we can
always-
definitely stay up.
I was
100%.
always under the impression before the weekend just gone. So, yeah, I'm going to try and go back to before last. I'm going to completely wipe the weekend out of my head.
Yeah.
I was always under the impression we're going to get a point against Arsenal. I seriously thought we was going to get a point against Arsenal. And it could be, you could be right. Let's try and flip it. You know, let's try and be that positive now. Instead of, I've got rid of the negativity now. Let's bang, switch it off. Let's turn around and be like, right, whatever happens, happens. But let's just try and be positive as much as we can do. And I could still see us getting a point. I mean, Potter got the point against, he got the win, didn't he, last year against Arsenal? So
year before that, I think. Arsenal, just as we're recording this, Arsenal 1-0 up. Saka just scored.
Yeah, could have done without him being back. And I would have really fancied getting something if he weren't back, but he's a problem.
Mind you, he missed the penalty a couple of years ago, Andy. Do you remember?
Yeah.
No, he did, yeah. And we've got to see it as, like, I mean, we've said these last games.
Complete free games.
It is like a cup final. And anything can happen. Do you know what I mean? And we're at home, so we've got to use that to our advantage. We've just got to go for it. We have to.
I think we do. And do you think the manager will look at this now and go, right, it's shit or bust?
No.
But okay then, we're all saying he don't go for it, right? You're the manager today, Ad. What do you do to the team to change to the team? Because we all say we want him to go for it, right? What changes do you make this week?
I think because like you said last week, he's definitely going to go to probably to a 3 at the back against them. But if he's going to go for it, he'll stay playing a similar formation. I would actually bring in Traore for Pablo this week and play Bowen off of Tatty. I think that's what I would do. And then I just feel we've just got more attackers, more goal threat, I think, in front of goal. I mean, we could start Wilson. But yeah, I would play the same formation, that 4-4-2 or 4-4-1-1, and not go back to 3 or literally a 5 at the back and bring Bowen central, Traore out wide. And yeah, just have a go.
Boys, what changes would you make?
Go on, Gal. Go on, mate. No, go on.
I'd agree massively with Addy. I think we're not very good at sitting back and defending. We're better at defending than we were, but our best way of defending is by attacking. And I know it's Arsenal, but if we can try and keep it tight till half time and then go shit or bust in the second half, then I think we'll have half a chance. I don't know. It could go, this could be 4 or 5 to Arsenal. We've seen it. Or it could be, I've also seen 2-2 and I've seen us beat them. So I don't know.
But we're all having a go at the manager for not going at it. And yet we can only name one change that we would maybe make to the team. So I'm just having a go at us as well, like the people that were having a go at us, because they're saying, their flip side, the other fans are saying, well, what's the manager options he got? And it is a fair point.
It is.
Because none of us are going, right, I'd bring in this person, this person, this person. Now, my fear is, because I kind of agree with you, Ad, as well, my fear is you play 2 in the midfield against Rice, Zubimendi and Eze or Odegaard. Yeah. They are going to carve Souček and Fernandes to pieces.
I think you've got to play Kante in the middle.
I'll be honest. That's personally who I would have said. I was thinking about the Traore, but then I'd think, do you know what? You've just said a really good point there, Sam, about their midfield. I would possibly bring Kante in and have Kante, Fernandes and Souček in that midfield, and maybe saying to Souček, right, you sit in with Kante, Fernandes, you sit in front of them, but you and Kante are the legs for Souček. You should be box to box, because he can do box to box still. Fernandes, he can do that, but I would probably bring Kante in because, again, he's the one he's got a bit of pace about him. He can get us up the pitch. Souček can't get us up the pitch. Fernandes can't do that on his own. So I do think that maybe playing Kante this weekend's game could be the way forward. And as Gary said, maybe keeping it tight for that first half, or at least 35 minutes, and then trying to open it up a little bit more as the first half finishes, and then second half coming out and just thinking, do you know what? It's 0-0, or even if it is just 1-0 to them, we've now got to go for it, because we can't sit back no more and hope for a draw. A draw's no good for us. We've got to go and win that game.
And
What about if you went 3 at the back?
That's what I was about to say. We're wing backs,
Right, but because Addy, we played wing backs our whole life, right?
Yeah.
But we never played a defensive wing back system, right? And actually just played 3 at the back, right? Because there's a way of gambling it, and then you could go, for example, to 3 centre halves, Mavropanos, Todibo, and Disasi, right? Then you go on the left and the right. Maybe you go Traore one side and Somerville the other side, right? Which you go with Then Kante, Souček, and Fernandes in the middle, and Bowen and Tatty up front, and just fucking go for it. And do you know what? I'd go out there and I'd go, yeah, go on, let's have a go. And if you come unstuck,
no to that either.
You're unstuck. But I look at it and I think, do you know what? Them 3 centre halves together, I think they're a very good pairing. It's almost a bit like Harry Redknapp back 5. We was a back 5 a lot of time under Harry, but we was an attacking back 5. You remember, Trevor Sinclair was our right wing back.
Yeah,
it wasn't a defender. Like, you could put Wan-Bissaka there, you could put Walker-Peters, but then that slowly becomes 5 at the back. Now, the worry is with that on the left side, if you've got Somerville, is you've got Saka there. So, but then you're relying on Todibo or Mavropanos to go across.
You remember when Potter
Kante or Souček to sit in?
Potter's first game, he played exactly that. Somerville was one wing back, and I think it was I don't think Diouf had signed then, but it was his first game, and it was against Aston Villa. He played Somerville as a wing back. Somerville ended up getting injured in that game, but up till we got injured, he was superb as the wing back. He got up, he got down, he helped defensively, he come inside.
Was that away?
That was away at Villa Park, and I think it was him that set Paqueta up for the goal.
That was the FA Cup, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
But it was. But that's how Palace play, isn't it? They play with their wing backs really high. Like they just let them bomb on. Play 3 at the back, and it's then not fun.
And also, if you went with a right wing back of Wan-Bissaka or Walker-Peters, let's say, and it's not Traore, then as the play shifts, it becomes a back 4 quite quickly. You know, like the centre half comes over to Saka and gets into it. Now, I'm not saying that's right at all, but if the manager did something like that, and listen, I wouldn't want to be trying that against Arsenal.
And that's the problem.
Is actually the answer, because would I like to see it against Palace or someone like that? Yes, but we're in this kind of, even if we draw, it ain't no good for us, really, because you've got to expect Tottenham are playing Leeds. Now, I know Leeds are doing well. Tottenham are at home against Leeds, I believe, and I'd just go, I fancy Spurs. Now, Spurs looked brilliant the other day. Now, I know a lot of people say, well, Villa fielded the weakened side and all that. And actually, I don't know, it was my brother-in-law actually said this the other day. And actually, I know people have got the ump with Unai Emery, but was it a master plan, what he did, right, for his own cause? By him losing against Spurs the other day, what did it prompt Forest to do? They had to play a strong team the next day against Chelsea. And what's happened, Morgan Gibbs-White has obviously got a horrific face injury.
Yeah, quite looked awful.
What game might he miss now?
Yeah.
Villa in the semis. By Villa playing a weakened team in that, it actually made Forest play a stronger team because they had to, because of relegation, because Spurs had won.
Did you see his interview?
It was actually...
Emre's after the game. An interview asked him, he said, why did you make so many changes? And he turned around, he was like, well, did you not see the previous 2 games with the players that were dropped? They played, that were so-called the better players, played in the previous 2 games where we've got beat.
And lost.
And lost. So
again, it's their prerogative. I'm not one of them West Ham fans that's having to go to Villa. Yeah. And I know a lot of people fans are because they wanted to see Spurs go down. I get it. Like, that was what really is.
I'm not like that.
But we do still have the chance of giving City the league and relegating Spurs this week. And we have got to go for it now. The manager has to go for this. So maybe he won't start with an attacking formation, but even a draw is no good for us here. And a loss is, if Spurs win, a loss, it's pretty much.
I think we need 7 points. I think if we can get 7 points, we'll stay up. But that's undefeated in the next 3 games.
Yeah, and winning 2 of them.
It's not that.
Which Newcastle Leeds, we can do it.
It goes back to what you said earlier on, though, Sam. It's so frustrating, and I'm fuming with it still, is the games that he's chucked away during this course of this season has put us in this position. And that's why I'm absolutely fuming, because look, anyone could lose against Brentford at any given time, because Brentford are a good team. Do you know what I mean? They are a good team. They what we was 2-3 years ago. Do you know what I mean? It's the 2 draws against Brighton when we're winning them. You know, the Wolves game where we got absolutely spanked 3-0. You know, the Forest game that we lost 2-1. I look at them and I'm so
Let's give him
angry
his
with
due on that, though, because they were pre-January and he had players there. We had no Tay, we had no Pablo, we had no Adama, we had Wilson and Fulcru, who did not want to be at the club, and Paqueta, who did not want to be at the club. So I'm giving the fans a little bit of their argument, which you have to bear this in mind as well.
And I totally agree. But even more recently, when we're in a good spell and playing better, that game against Palace, we never ever get a better chance to beat Crystal Palace.
Exactly.
They've left out their best players essentially. And
They've done what Villa did. They've done exactly what Villa did.
Exactly.
Bournemouth game, you're 2-0 up.
You have to go for that. You have to go for that.
You know, you're 2-0 up against Bournemouth, and he just goes so defensive and negative, and you just think, why?
Yeah, Chelsea's the unforgivable one when he brought Kilman on.
Well, the one for me was the Brighton away when we were so comfortable. We were so comfortable. They weren't even threatening the goal, and he changed it all and just sat back. Why? And I said I said at the time, you watched those, how important those 2 points are. And it's turned out to be that way, isn't it? It's frustrating.
So frustrating. I remember I first come onto this podcast back in November. So we'd only just known each other like a month or so, like me and Addy anyway. I've known Sam years. And we all said it back then. These games are going to murder us for the second half of this season. And it's everything that we said has just come true.
It comes through.
And you just think
that Christmas period was 1 point over 7 games, wasn't it?
You're a manager that's been in the Premier League now for what? You've been at Forest for 2 years. You were at Wolves for 2-3 years. And you just think, you should know the Premier League. Sitting back. Surely you've played against West Ham enough to realise we have never been a side that can sit back and win games. We always concede goals. No matter who we're under Harry Redknapp, we've done it. Under Bilic, we've done it. We are never a side that can sit back and hold on to wins. We have to, as what Gary said earlier on, and I said it 2 years ago, our best form of defence is attack. The longer the ball is away from our goal, the better it is for us. Because at some point, we will concede a goal. And with the strikers that I've got, it's just all coincided. Do you know what I mean? We don't score enough goals. But yes, we might not leak 5 or 6, but we still leak 1 or 2 goals. And we just don't score enough because we just don't go with teams. It's just...
And it doesn't seem... I think that our hopes are Kante or someone coming in, and I think we're just all throwing our Marys because that's what it is now. Would you arguably say this Arsenal game is as big a game as West Ham's played now in years?
Probably, yeah.
I think every week... the last few weeks has been the biggest game, and we've failed to turn up at half the time.
It's true, but we did beat Everton. Right? So we didn't Palace, but we did beat Everton.
We beat Wolves,
yeah. And
more
we beat
through luck
Wolves
than anything else. They've still got the
home form. Our home form is pretty good at the moment. Unbeaten in 6. So the home form's pretty good. I know Addy's seen a change over there in terms of atmosphere and stuff. So
Yeah, no, that's been
It'll
good.
be. I'm sort of like dreading it, but also looking forward to it. Do you know what I mean? Because
I've always thought that we were going to go down. I think I've always said that. I just still think we're going to go down. It was only the Wolves, when we beat Wolves and they didn't beat, I think, Sunderland the next day, and we went above them when it was in our own hands. I thought, hang on, we've actually got a chance. But I think we was always relying on Tottenham not winning rather than us getting ourselves out of it. And yeah, you know, we
And they look good, didn't they? And the fact is, De Zerbi's gone in 1.3 points.
Yeah.
So there's a stark improvement. And what I will say about De Zerbi as well, with major injuries in that team, like major, last week they lost arguably their two best, their striker and thingy. And also he's taken out of that team arguably their two best players in Archie Gray and Bergvall, because he's obviously gone, you know what? You're too young for this at the minute. I need
experience.
Paulinia,
Basuma.
Yeah, Basuma and etc. in there. And let's go for a bit of grit and Conor Gallagher. And we're going to go for that. And we're going to get this is how we're going to play. And they've clearly bought into it because that was hard on that. Like Archie Gray has been their best player. So he's made a couple of big decisions. He's gone in there. And that's what I go, that roll of that dice, it's done them. It's got them that belief. And I don't think you'll see Spurs. I don't think Spurs will lose another game, sadly. I think they might not win them all. I watched their last game and I saw a team that does not look like a team going down, as I do with Forest. I actually think Forest, if they had another half of the season, would be challenging for Europe. They look fantastic.
I said weeks ago, I don't Forest are out of it. I don't know why anyone was worried about Forest. They're out of it. They pick up too many good wins. Do you know what I mean? They pick up good wins. They've got a good side. They've got a good attacking side. They've got two strikers. Wood will score goals. I know he's not played many games for them because of injury, but when Awoniyi, I can't pronounce his name,
Awoniyi, yeah.
When he scores goals, Morgan Gibbs-White scores goals or he creates goals.
But obviously that manager has come in and galvanised them to do it.
Like he done the Wolves last year.
Steve Cooper couldn't do it. I don't know. Who was before Daesh? Was it?
Ange.
Ange, yeah.
So they had, what, three? Have they had four managers this year? Three?
Nuno, Ange.
Oh, yeah.
Deitch.
Nuno, Ange,
Pereira.
Deitch, Pereira. Yeah, four managers.
Pereira was the manager of
that,
Wolves, wasn't he, last season? Who kept Wolves up last year?
Yeah, that chairman everyone was sort of criticising. He walked out of there yesterday.
I saw that.
And everyone was patting him on the back. He's the hero.
The Forest fans love him though because he
has a goal, doesn't he? He don't take. He's not going to accept mediocrity.
He's like a fan who owns a football club, isn't he?
Exactly that. Yeah.
He's like, I'm giving you money. This ain't working. Let's change it. And now, for long term, that isn't good for a football club, right? We've seen it with Watford. Watford changed the manager, but we see it with Chelsea at the minute, right? It doesn't work, right? But when you're in the crap, sometimes it does. Now, it's costing them a lot of money to do that as well. Keep bringing in new ideas, new philosophies, new players, all this stuff. And I don't want to be that. But unfortunately, he's just had a gamble to keep them in there. And then he's going to hope Vita Pereira is the man that's going to carry it on next season. But if he goes 3-4 games next season and he ain't won, you go and get someone else.
Yeah. Like
now,
Marlon used to do. The
hangman will get you in the end on that philosophy at some stage. But you've got to go, good on him, the fella. I quite like that geezer. I like him.
He does his stuff for fools. He's getting them out.
Well, he's put, I mean, it's his money he's going in as well. Do you know what I mean? So he's putting his money in. He's rolled the dice, and they can end up staying up, and they can end up winning Europa League and being in the Champions League as well. And that's
he's seen that. He's gone. We've got a chance to get in the Champions League here. Who cares where we finish there? Then there's Champions League money come in, and maybe he'll boot that manager and go, right, let's go and get Mourinho or someone like that come in. Right, let's go big. We're going Champions League, it's new philosophy. And he's not scared to make the hard decision. Whereas we've always been scared of getting rid of the manager because it costs money, I believe.
Yeah, no, that's exactly that's the only reason.
But in the end, we get rid of them anyway.
We get rid of them anyway, and we bring in some, and it costs exactly that. penny foolish, like whatever the saying is.
Penny wise, pound foolish, yeah.
Penny wise, pound foolish, yeah. And it's just because we hang on too long, then we get thinking, but then what we do is we'll go exactly the same round again. Let's look for that cheap option again.
And then wonder why it don't work.
Is they give someone stupid, like Potter, they give him stupid wages. Lopetegui, stupid wages because he's coming on a free. We're still paying them off now. Do you know what I mean? It's cost us nearly 30 million to get rid of them instead of going
funny,
out.
isn't it?
What they could have done with Silva, I think before we appointed Nuno, they were saying about Silva, but they were saying, oh, Fulham want 8 million to get him in his backroom team now. Well, it's just cost you 20 million to get rid of 2 managers because you've won and got them on the cheap.
And Amorim, 9 mil at the time. Now, obviously, I'm not saying Amorim was the person.
Exactly.
Actually, maybe his negative kind of football, in a sense, would have suited us. Maybe we could have played about. Who knows, right? Who knows if he would have been good for West Ham? We'd say, take a. But you look at that again. And United, roll the dice again. Let's get rid of Amorim. Bring in Carrick. Let's have a go. Someone new. Let's interim him. Champions League. That roll that dice has got them from down the bottom of the league to Champions League one season. Yep. And they have rolled that dice and they've had a go and gone, okay, we've gone for it. And that's, I think, if it didn't work with someone going for it, I go, you know what, we had a go. We had a go. And we just weren't good enough. And I do think this team probably isn't good enough. But I look at it against Spurs, that team, and I go, that team ain't better than ours. It's not loads better than ours.
You're absolutely right. I was thinking the same earlier. I was sat in the conservatory over there, and I was thinking, in the past when we've gone down, we've had a good team, we've had a go. The fans were on side, but we just weren't good enough.
Yeah,
there's none of that. There's none of that this time. We're not good enough, but if we have a little bit of effort's non-negotiable. And the league table don't lie, and we're down there because we're the third worst team. And I think work rate's improved only really the last couple of months, hasn't it? We're not good enough to not try 110% every week.
And that's what I thought Nuno would bring into us, and that's what I'm saying. Like,
and no, I'll give him his due. He has brought that into us. We have changed in work
6-7 months too late. Do you know what I mean? That should have been from day one. A manager comes in. If I went into West Ham on that first day, I'd be turning around and saying, if you ain't running, if you are not working hard enough, I don't care. If you're the captain, you are not playing for me. Simple as that. And if you don't like it, off you go.
And we had too many times with Paqueta, didn't we, really, through the year?
And I tell you what,
sit on the bench.
The thing is, though, it's not Nuno, it's Paco that's made the change. If Paco left, we'd be back playing Kilman next season. So, you know what I mean?
There's a scary thought that we are probably going to be starting with Max Kilman next season because although he's probably on big wages at West Ham, so that will probably be the only reason we won't be. Let's not get into it. At the moment, we're staying up. Arsenal, right. We're finishing this on thoughts for Arsenal this weekend. Addy Chard, give me your score predictions.
My head says probably a 2-0 defeat, but we are going to pull it out of the bag somehow, and we're going to win 2-1.
And then everyone can message this channel and say, you negative pricks, you don't know what you're talking about. Nuno is God. Gal?
2 or 3-0 to Arsenal. We ain't getting another point this year.
Micky?
Gal, mate, you've gone down in my estimations. I was fuming earlier, but now, do you know what? I'm switching it. 2-1 West Ham.
Here we go.
You're all
1-0 West Ham.
Is that because of this league table since the 17th?
Yeah, we are 7th in the league table. I don't know if you've checked the league table recently, and it has been also, the Premier League has also come out, Gal, this week and said that league table will be taken into account at the end of the season. And they're going to relegate off of that table. So we are all right, fellas. Don't you worry. We are going for Europe.
Might get top 6.
Exactly. We may even be in Champions League. I don't know. Let's hope. But I've got to be honest with you. Do you know what would be the most West Ham thing in the world? We beat Arsenal, lose them the league, and then we still get relegated.
Yeah.
And Tottenham still send us down.
Tottenham still send us down. Oh, mate. Because it'd just be... Because if we do win this week, our hope is going to go into overdrive. I know I'm going to go spastic again, and I'll be, because you know what it is? I've been convinced for 2 years that we're going down, and I did get sucked back in that I thought we were staying up. I really did, and I just looked at it and I just thought, yep, Igor Tudor, he's taking out Tottenham team down without a doubt. And I was quietly, and I thought, Forest, we're going to drag them back in, and that. It was the day of the Forest beating Sunderland 5-0 that I kind of went, uh-oh. Yeah, because I always thought it was us and Forest. I just always thought to Zerbury, if they kept Igor Tudor in, they were going down, Spurs. They were.
I reckon there's going to be a point where we're texting each other that mid-game, West Ham's going to be out of it mid-game, but then we're going to go like that mid-game.
And then it finishes 4-0, Spurs won 4-0. I don't know. Do you know what? At least if we lose, we know. This moment, we know, but we don't know.
Yeah.
Like, so there is that. I'm gonna hang on one last week of big hope that West Ham can get us out of it, because it would be amazing.
I would love to be proved wrong, by the way. So if I get
tell me about it. I'm getting excited now.
Listen, if we've got this wrong,
getting pumped up now.
Please comment on this channel that we got it wrong and everything. And to be honest, I don't want to be right, because me being right means West Ham's in the championship.
Exactly that.
Yeah.
And that is not something I want to be right at, because it's going to be really upsetting.
Yeah,
Micky's going to pull his West Ham flag up the flagpole in the back garden now. How are you, Irons?
I'm getting pumped up for it now. Proper
we're going to
pumped
be
up. We're going to win.
When the Spurs play on the Mondays, I don't like that they're always going to know what we've done as well for the next 3 weeks. But
Yeah, it's a killer, isn't it? Is that what it is? Spurs are on Monday.
yeah, so they're Monday, but we're all going to be Leeds fans.
What day are we? Oh, we're Sunday this week.
I think it's on the telly. I think it's 4:30 kickoff, isn't it? Sunday.
Yeah.
So who have we got Saturday? Liverpool, Chelsea, Brighton, Wolves, Fulham, Bournemouth, Sunderland, Man United, Man City, Brentford. Is there a Friday game this week? Friday game? No. And then Sunday, is it just us? Oh, no. And then we got Forest, Newcastle at 3. We're at 5:30. So we'll know what they've done already. Again, Forest might not win another game.
Don't do it, mate. Don't do it. They will.
Ah, no. I've just started adding points up here.
6 points behind them,
And Forest at home against Newcastle. And then it's Leeds, Tottenham at home.
Come on,
Monday.
Leeds.
Come on, Leeds. We're marching on together.
Come on, Leeds.
But that's it. That's all we're finishing up there. Fellas, it's emotional time.
Very emotional.
Really is.
I want to thank everyone, though, for watching this, especially this weekend, and loads of comments
100%,
coming
mate.
through. It has been fun interacting with you all. Loads of people think the same. And loads of people have reached out and said, get a channel. And obviously, Ray Winston's watching the channel. So thank you, Ray, if you're watching this and keeping it in check. Don't want you coming after me. We know who's the daddy. But yeah, anyway, fellas, until next week, come on, you irons.
Come on, you Iron.
Come on.